Mouth Breather.
So
is
Mouth
also
Breather.
a great song.
Oh, that's excellent. Which do you know the story behind that one?
I absolutely
You
do.
do? Yeah. You go ahead and tell that. This is your pick.
So the story Mouth Breather comes from a story of the lead singer of Slint. What's his name? Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. But he was watching Steve Albini's house.
Yes.
And
I didn't think it was the lead singer.
it was one of the members, drummer.
It was the drummer.
It was the drummer of Slint. And this story is in that Slint documentary.
Okay.
You can find it in there. And it was a conversation between Steve Albini and David Yao, the lead singer of Jesus Lizard. And Steve had the drummer from Slint,
Britt Walford.
Watch his house, and then it ended up flooding when Britt was watching it. And Steve Albini went up to David Yao, was like, "Man, I fucking love that guy."
That's actually not the same story I heard.
That's what I heard in the Slint documentary.
Okay.
It was like, I love that guy, but he's a mouth breather.
Yeah. I read this on I think it was an interview with him. He said he was watching his house.
Yeah.
And he lost the keys immediately. This is the one I heard. And so
Okay.
he just kicked down the fucking door and just like kicked it in. And then instead of like even like propping it up, he just nailed 2x4s into the.
I think that is right.
Yeah.
I don't know where I heard the flooding story.
Okay.
I'd have to watch the documentary again.
I'm gonna look that up.
But of the same vein, the drummer from Slint's a mouth breather.
He's a mouth breather,
apparently. So that's where that came from.
Which the interview I was talking about, I think it might have been. I can't remember if it was with old what's his name from the Jesus Lizard,
David Yao,
or with Steve Albini. But he was just like, yeah, people from Louisville are they're just a little different.
They're just a little different.
Yeah.
That song has a fucking great guitar riff.
Oh, yeah.
That's also one of my favorite ones to play.
That was the single off of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, this album is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
And it's delightfully just nasty.
They're just a great 4-piece rock band.
Yeah.
Like they just know each member is so fucking unique to what they do, and they all play off each other so well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just always great to listen to.
Early on listening to it, I was trying to like figure out a genre for it, and I wrote down pre-industrial country post-hardcore noise rock.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got some slide guitar shit.
It's very like you can tell they're from Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really how to describe it aside from that, but it's got a Texas sound to it.
Yeah. I love Dwayne Dennison's guitar playing so fucking much.
Okay. Which a band that this reminds me of, especially Seasick, is the one I wrote down for this. It reminds me of a little local band that used to be around here called Sutphin.
Well, we used to get compared to Jesus Lizard a lot.
Yeah.
A shit ton. That was probably the one we got the most when it came to, you get down, man, you guys sound like Jesus Lizard, especially when it's just like Tristan on vocals and doing shit like that. I don't know if it was ever intentional, but it definitely, the attitude of this band we all really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And like, I know Jason was a huge fan of David Sims' bass playing, and Matt loved Mac McNeely's drums, and I love Dwayne Dennison. Tristan loved David Yao. I mean, it was all there. I remember us jamming at practice. We jammed Seasick one time, and it was fun. I would have always wanted to do like a Jesus Lizard cover set, but it seemed too on the nose with that band, I think, to do it. But,
I found the interview I was talking about.
Okay.
About, Britt Walford. So it was both. He kicked down the door, put up 2x4s. Then he broke the toilet, and it was rain. Okay, the exact quote is.
Okay, so
he
both
broke
right.
the toilet, and it was raining pea water in the basement. It was Steve's recording studio.
This is like Short Stories territory.
So that was David Yao that was saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a nice guy. I like him just fine, but he's a mouth breather.
He's a mouth breather. Great lyric.
Great lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, dude, the lyrics to
I wonder which
Lady
one.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Fucking nasty.
Fucking nasty.
Uh-huh. Just that's the one where I was reading a little bit about that, and some random guy online was saying it was like the Aristocrats joke, the famous, do you know that joke? You know the reference to that?
No. What is
It's
it?
like a joke that comedians told each other.
Okay.
And so I don't know. It's basically you just say like, oh, I've got this act, and you say like the nastiest thing you can possibly think of, and then they're like, oh, what's this called? And you're like, oh, the Aristocrats. And it's like,
Okay.
So that's kind of, I think, what they're going for. Maybe some dude
It's-
online was really like pushing that. That's what it was. I don't know.
Well,
But
here let's
makes
read some
sense.
lyrics from it. How
oh
about-
yes,
I got
please
it.
Do.
There's
You
a
gotta
girl
pull it up?
playing her piano. There's a little girl playing her big piano while her mother gives her an enema. While her mother gives her an enema. While her mother, and then the daddy comes in and jacks off on the piano and jacks off on the piano.
Let me take the next one.
Yeah.
And jacks off on the piano and jacks off on the piano. Meanwhile, the local maternity ward nurse comes in with a great big sledgehammer. She kills all the little babies, destroys the monitoring system. She says she got some time to stick around.
She calls the doctor, said, "Look what I've done." She calls the doctor, said, "Look what I've done." She calls the doctor, said, "Look what I've done." Doctor comes in, pops a boner, and jacks off in her cat.
And then the motel manager comes by and takes a little shit in his hand. And he takes a little shit in his hand. And then he takes a little shit in his hand and he puts it on like lipstick. Lipstick, he puts it on like lipstick.
Beautiful.
It's
Those are some vile lyrics.
It's vile. So, yeah, this is just a greasy,
But you,
unshowered band.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you kind of hear them. You can't understand any of
No.
David Yao's lyrics ever, really.
Not usually.
Sometimes
He's pretty chaotic with
Yeah.
his vocals, but
he's a very interesting front man.
yeah.
I
I don't know anything about their personal lives at all.
No, not really. I know the band, they broke up after they were signed to a record deal and had to finish albums, and one of their last ones, I think it was Down, was like they had to make that record, so it's like not a lot of people's favorites. And then they broke up, then they got back together, and they've kind of played every now and then since, but they haven't made any new music in a long time. But I was just looking before we filmed with the chronology of Head, Goat, and Liar. Those three fucking albums, and they came out each year, are
90,
fucking
91, and 92.
incredible. I had a hard time picking. Head's my favorite.
Okay.
Personally, I picked Goat because I thought it was funny, but Goat's also like my second favorite, but Liar is also really fucking incredible. So like all those records, I was like, man, those came out year after year after year, and they're just absolute ripper albums.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of those.
Oh,
But
yeah.
91, same year the Spiderland came out as well.
Oh.
So,
Wow. What are you?
so yeah,
what
both
time
of
for
those
music?
albums are as old as I am,
Wow.
and I'm old.
Yeah, Shane's old.
So the song Carpus, do you know who that's about?
No.
Creepy Carpus. He was the inmate at Alcatraz. He had the longest sentence at Alcatraz.
Oh, really?
Also, he was one of the leaders. I mean, how he got in there. He was one of the leaders of the Barker Carpus gang.
Okay.
So, Ma Barker and her sons and all that. Do you know that story?
Mm-mm.
I'll give you a little brief run.
Enlighten me.
Sure. So there was the Barker Carpus gang. They obviously did like Prohibition era gang stuff, robbing things, all that stuff. They were kind of known as being pretty violent. But supposedly, like the story goes, the mom, Ma Barker, was like the ringleader, and she like told him to do all this stuff. But there's also a pretty good chance that the FBI just like lit up this old lady in her house when they were capturing them, and were like, oh, she was technically the ringleader, so they didn't get in trouble. So
Shit.
when really she was probably just an old lady. Actually, she was probably a piece of shit, but I don't know if she was the ringleader. I don't think she was. But
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the lyrics on that one are great too.
yeah, it's
Hey,
just
you wanna hear it?
prison, rape, and murder.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh.
boy, got no hair on my ass.
Yeah,
I
you
got no
shaved
hair
his-
on my cock. Let's just recite Jesus' lyrics
Oh
this
man,
whole time.
that could be a whole.
Albin's feeling randy, ready to roll, shoving a shiv between the shoulders. Safe, I cannot have you, nobody will. Lots of no's and yeses.
No's and yeses.
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. We appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe
Yep. Click somewhere
right here.
right there
If you like that one, click on that one.
to view more things like this.
And then there was probably something over here
Probably
too
something over
that
there.
you probably really like just as well.
Until YouTube updates the format.
Yep,
So,
that's
yeah.
right. Then we're fucked. So thanks for
Yep.
watching.
Follow
Appreciate
us on
it.
all the socials too.
Yep,
Earswap Pod.
that's right.